Hello, welcome to Try Animes, another weekly roundup of Ami figure releases. This is going to be from the 22nd of August to the 26th of August. Unfortunately, I can't go back to the 21st as we're recording this on the 26th, since they had two installments of 25th of August on the website, which takes up one of the slots, so I can't go back to 21st. So I'll just go back down to the 22nd, and you can have a quick look to see if there's any sort of figures that were released that are just on sale now that would have come out for normal release if you didn't pre-order them over the course of the week to grab potentially. But obviously I will be covering pre-orders that have been out over the past week, mainly figures. I don't really cover Nendroids. If you think I should cover Nendroids, then please let me know. I did notice one, these two I've missed actually, and here I'll cover it, add those back in. I'll open those tabs up now. It's 25th, there's quite a few releases on the 25th, and on the 26th there wasn't that many. The 25th is sort of your biggest, and 26th there's quite a few releases that were happened. Oh no, maybe not, okay. And here we'll have a look at the top 10 pre-orders for this week. As you can see, there's quite a few Nendroids, or these I think capsule. I think these Nendroids or similar-esque to Nendroids. And then you got Hatsune Miku B-Style freeing, which kind of makes sense. So that's that. We'll get into the list now. B-Style Data Live Toka freeing 38,500 yen. I think they're probably settling in now on most of their freeing figures being about 38,500 yen. It seems like you still see the odd one for 44,000 yen. That's probably the ones that have got bigger assets. I think you'll see that, and that are just larger figures overall. So that will be good. But this bunny suit definitely suits Toka with the rich purple bunny suit. It definitely suits her character very well, and it's good to see that they're doing some Data Live freeing figures. Data Live's quite a good anime, obviously harem-esque ecchi anime. Not much echiness, so there is a bit of fan service. But yeah, no, it's a good anime to watch, and I do like the hair shading they've got going on here. It's definitely one of the better hair shadings that we've seen from their freeing figures. The pose looks fine. It is kind of a standard pose, I guess you could say, a bit more dynamic than just standing up, luckily. And she won't take up a lot of vertical space in her shelving. But it's definitely a good looking figure, and if you like Data Live and Toka is one of your favourite girls, then there's a freeing figure for her now. Act Mode Navy Field 152 type. There's a model figure by Good Smile. I'm not familiar with this. I just thought, I thought this was a figure to be honest, but this is not a bad looking one. You get a good amount of accessories with it to cover obviously the different her battle suit, looks like, with these swords, and you can have different scenarios that I guess she performs in the anime or game if it's a game. I'm not too sure. Be a plastic model set. So 13,000 yen is not too bad. It's just, if you like these sorts of figures, then they are available. It's just whether they obviously get round to doing a figure that you like of a character. Prisma Wing, The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2 Raphtalia by Prime One Studio, 32.5, basically 32,500 yen. It's not a bad looking figure. I think this is not, hopefully it's not resin. Doesn't say what it's made of. Sculptor, character. No, hopefully it's just plastic. Yeah, this is definitely a good looking figure. It's better than some of the other Raphtalia figures we've had in the past, like the Chinese dressed one, or the freeing. Although the freeing B-Style's quite a good looking figure as well. I definitely want to get her. I think they capture her face quite well, and with the hair, it definitely catches her cute side a lot more compared to a lot of other Raphtalia figures that have come out. And it obviously is her in her original outfit, which I can appreciate them rather than them diverting away from the source material. It's definitely a good looking figure, but I'm not sure if I'd pay 32,000 yen. considering she's a 1/7 scale. It is Prime on Studio, so they are generally good quality, but they don't release a lot of figures, so that might be why her price is a bit high, is quite high, and approaching obviously sort of freeing quarter scale figures pricing, unfortunately. And obviously there are other 1/7s that are in this price range that have much more elaborate bases, and you just get a lot more for your money. So it just depends on how attached you are to the Raphtalia if you want to collect her. Girls Frontline AK-12 1/7 by Fat Company, 29,800 yen. I'm not familiar with Girls Frontline. This looks fine, I think. Yeah, it looks fine. It comes with 2 face plates, it seems like, and a couple of like that jacket that can come off. Looks fine. Price, don't think I'd spend 30,000 yen on it, plus more for shipping and then import tax as well, which most countries you would have to pay for. It's fine, I suppose. I reckon it'll probably go down in price though once it's released. B-Star character Vocal Series 001 Hatsune Miku by Freeing. This is obviously another one of those Hatsune Miku ones which I think is going to be very, very popular. A lot of people will definitely wanting to pick this up since it's a much more unique bunny style suit as well, compared with obviously these over the knee height boots as well, which is really actually good. Well, it's a good different aesthetic compared to a lot of other Freeing B-style figures that you get these days, where they just have the tights all the way up. So I think this is definitely much more appealing to people who, even if they don't have Hatsune Miku in their collection at all, but they are a big like Freeing quarter scale collector, then they would probably want to go, yeah, I'll take a shot on this one rather than getting the other Hatsune Miku quarter scale, which is her standing up in a sort of is a fully dress style beast suit. I'll put a image up here so you can see what one I'm on about. But yeah, no, this is just another version of it, obviously, which is quite good. The hair on this one looks really good actually compared to the other Freeing one as well. I do like the shading of the light turquoise blues that they've got going on. Definitely possibly one worth getting. 44,000 yen. Good chunk that's probably because of the hair sculpt as well that they've got going on. It's definitely one I probably would get if I just was into Hatsune Miku, but I'm not, so I probably will be giving that a miss. Artifacts J Monoko Medicine Silla 1/8 by Kudabiki for 13,000 yen. This one, I think, for the price you're actually getting quite a lot. Obviously, he's not got the most amazing paint job, but he is only less than 14,000 yen. And the base, this sort of window sill aspect that he's sitting on, is actually obviously a nice backdrop that you get with the figure. So I think really for the price you can't moan. And if it's something that, if the overall aesthetic appeals to your collection or what you want to go for, then this is definitely one worth getting. The mixes of the pastel sort of blues, purples and greens does give off a very certain vibe which people might like. It's not something that I would enjoy. Like the paint lines look crisp enough and they're a bit bland, but obviously there's no shading or anything, but that's fine. I think you're going over it for the overall aesthetic of the figure, really, and what the vibes the figure puts off, in which case it might suit your collection and your mindset. Another B-style, My Life as Inuki's Son's Dog, Karen Inuki dog outfit version, 1/4 scale by Freeing. This one, probably would say I'd give a miss overall, really. This is a bit of an odd one. I don't know why you would want to get this as a quarter scale. If it was a normal scale figure, then yeah. But 38,500 yen, it's a bit on the cheaper side to Freeing figures, but there's like no specific shading. Obviously you normally get B-style because you want either the swimsuit series or because you want the actual bunny suit, and that's what your main appeal is. For this, I just, yeah, no, I don't know, it's too bland. Her hair's not greatly shaded or anything. The pose is obviously quite seductive, but I think the actual whole dog aesthetic they've got going on is a bit off-putting to me. It's not something I would like, so I reckon this will get pretty well reduced on the sale after launch in May 2024. So maybe you just hold off and you might be able to get a 3/4 scale Fring figure for a good discount. Annabelle Heroines TV anime Hyuko Who Can't Escape Aru Chinata Summer Queens 1/8 half completed figure. So there's two versions of this. There's a half completed and a full completed or complete figure. I don't know. So this one's got a couple of different hairstyles. So you've got 3 different hairstyles, it looks like. So what's the non-completed one? There's probably this half complete assembly figure kit. Only the head is painted and assembled. The rest is a multicolour mold kit. So cheaper, 8,000 yen, but you do have to paint the body itself. Or you can get the complete figure for 15,950 yen. There's another character again. So K-On! Miya Akiyama. It's got the same way they're doing it by Our Treasure. So you got the only part completed, half completed, which is just the heads. Again, you have to do the body yourself, and then you got the complete one, 15,950 yen. I think Our Treasure have done this before with a couple of other figures. I'm not sure if I covered it in a previous video before, but yeah, they've. I've seen this before where they've done like half complete and then a complete figure. 1/8 is obviously pretty small. If you are familiar with these characters, then it might be worth getting them, especially if you want to have a go at airbrushing them or painting them yourselves. Then 8,000 is not obviously a huge investment to do that. It's interesting figures. Paul just thought I'd include them just to cover what other options you have out there. The Idol Master Shiny Colors Feb Madoka Higuchi on 7th scale by Wave, 21,580 yen. This one definitely gives us some sort of cute over cuteness factor, obviously with her holding this giant bear, which is definitely quite. I do like the overall aesthetic actually of it, especially if you can do obviously a set piece design like this or some sort of backdrop, put the figure on, then it might be worth doing that as well. 21,000 yen, perfectly good price I think for 1/7 scale figure. I've got no complaints here. It's a very nicely painted figure. The shading looks really well done. The overall sculpt looks great in my eyes, and looks like you can position a head in different positions, which is quite a bit more unique. You don't really get that a lot, so it can, which is where the face is the most important thing really, because that's what you want to be looking at. Priority is the face of the figure, as long as they do that well, and this looks like it's really done really well. It might just be a ball joint in there so you can swivel it, but yeah, no, it's a very good looking figure overall. Comic Nagi Nanami illustrated figure by Tuberosa Orchid C. Okay, 21,940 yen. So it's a swimsuit style figure with a beach ball. Is this cast offable? It is completely cast offable. Okay, so there's that. For me, it's a bit too sort of lolly-esque. But there's another cast-off figure if you want. Seems to be an OC design. I don't know. Is it from a series? No. So it's definitely like an OC character, which is why they can offer it without having to pay royalties. So that's not too bad. If it appeals to you, it's not a bad-looking figure overall. 21,000 yen is probably about right, with it being cast-offable as well. It's just not something I'm interested in. We've got a couple of pop-up parades now. Rebuilding getting Rei Ayanami long hair version XL size for 23,000 yen. And then we got Asuka Langley as well, XL size for 23,000 yen. So these two, obviously they've had their normal pop-up parades released earlier in the year, I think. And the XL series normally have extra detail compared to the original pop-up parade one, although the Asuka looks, I think, the same, really just upscaled. There doesn't seem to be any extra detailing or folds or whatnot in the bodysuit. And the Rei Ayanami, do they have a comparison picture? That's grayed out. There's quite a good shading going on. I think with them being large figures, you can have better shading, but then Asuka's shading of her hair is a bit crap here. It's all just a matte colour. I would say the Rei's better than the Asuka in this situation because of the hair. It just looks a lot better overall in my eyes. So if you want, these are, I think, are closer to 1/7 scale figures in height. They're 38 centimeters tall. So they're actually close to quarter scale in height because they're the extra large size, not just the L size. The L size is about 1/7. So yeah, these are about quarter scale in size. These will be quite large. No wonder the price. But these were quite popular when they were released in their normal Pop-Up Parade figure, Pop-Up Parade lineup. Definitely worth getting if you're big into Evangelion figures, and you don't want to get like a full scale, but you wanted a large. If you've got like a good collection of quarter scales, then you can add these two to at least show your appreciation for your Evangelion characters. Pop-Up Parade, Hell's Paradise, Gabimaru, 4,000 yen. He looks fine. It's Pop-Up Parade. There's not going to be an amazing paint job or anything like that. It's just a way to get started in your collection if you don't want to, or you can wait to see what other scale figures come out in the future. As Hell's Paradise is very good at anime, and I think we're going to see quite a few, not loads, but probably maybe up to half a dozen scale figures of most, well, at least of the two main girls that people appreciate, and Gabimaru will probably see a couple, since he gives off that sort of mystery vibe as well. So hopefully we see it. That'll be good if we get a couple more. But yeah, Pop-Up Parade if you don't want to spend loads of money on it. Pop-Up Parade Blue Archive Yuka, Mischievous Straight version. Looks fine. I do quite like the pose, and the sculpt looks quite good overall. Definitely not like Gabimaru is just standing there. So it looks fine. It looks like the whites they've actually done and the blues they've done quite well on the colouring wise. No complaints there. It's probably one of their better quality Pop-Up Parades really. Another Blue Archive Aris. Yep, matches again the other one. So I would probably get the set and buy the pair of them. It's not going to cost you a lot, a little bit over 8,000 yen. Pop-Up Parade Samurai Champloo Mugen L size, 7,000. So this one's going to be more like a 1/7 scale. And again, these normally have a bit more detail compared to the normal Pop-Up Parades versions. So hopefully, if you're big into your Samurai Champloo, then you can get this one and a Jin as well, L size. It's a very good anime series. I do quite like Samurai Champloo. Definitely one worth watching if you're if you're bored and want to find an anime series that you would enjoy watching. It definitely gives off fun vibes, very comedic, but it still has a good amount of action as well. Kid Carl Konosuba, God's Blessing on the Wonderful World, Megumin Anime Opening Edition. Okay, that's a mouthful. By Kadakawa, 19,000 yen. This one I think does the effect parts rather well compared to a lot of other Megumin figures. Since it's not showing obviously the whole fireball aesthetic, you've got all this sort of star patterning going on, which I actually quite like, and I do love this pose that they've got going on of showing from the opening of her exclusive anime series. So the price is great. The overall sculpt looks great. The effect parts look great in my mind. I think this is definitely one worth getting if you want a Megumin figure and you've not got one of the many other Megumin figures that have been released. Kadakawa Spice North Hollow Plentiful Apple Harvest version by Kadakawa 1/7 for 16,000 yen. I think you'd buy this because it's Spice North. Price is really good. The sculpt looks amazing. The tail and hair looks really good, and the paint job looks actually top notch. Those apples look actually like real in terms of the shading. It looks like you could actually eat them. So I think the paint job looks great. Only thing might be a bit off-putting is her face. So depending on how picky you are with how accurate faces are. The smile's a bit off-putting, I think, is what is the main thing that's throwing me off. This just wonderful figure overall. It's just the face is a bit off-putting. But apart from that, the price I think might make up for it that you can get her at. So definitely worth getting if you're wanting to get a Spice and Wolf Hollow figure. Kidikar Strike the Blood Yukina Himuragi Summer Wedding version. Bought for 16,740 yen. This one I think is going to be one that you sort of have to really like the Strike the Blood series to actually want to get her. You sporadically get the odd sort of Strike the Blood figure release. So this might be another testing one, and we're seeing a few Wedding series figures getting launched over the past year. So it might be worth waiting to see if they do the entire lineup of the girls from Strike the Blood, which would be interesting because then it might be worth me going back and pre-ordering this. It's March 2024, so still got 7 months to wait for it. So I might wait till launch actually, anyways. She might get that on a bit cheaper, or she'll probably be available at launch anyways. As a Strike the Blood, sort of one of those more niche anime series that not a lot of people is not well known compared to obviously like Hell's Paradise, which is obviously quite big. And Black Clover and Jujutsu Kaisen, so it is much more of a niche figure series, anime series. So you don't get tons of figures from them that are released of the characters, but overall the sculpt looks pretty good. I do quite like it. It's a much more unique take on obviously a wedding series, more sort of wedding / lingerie-esque or nightwear figure. I do quite like the aesthetic overall. This might be worth getting. We'll have to wait and see really when I would wait till release. Miko illustration Toma-chan complete figure Union Creative, 19,730 yen. 24 centimeters tall. It's another one of those sort of seductive Chinese dress figures, which is very good looking overall. Definitely, if this is appealing to you, then definitely get it. It's one of the better Chinese dress figures. I can tell they put a lot of thought into it in the way that it will obviously complement her figure, shall we say. And obviously the buns are quite well done. Both pairs of buns are well done in terms of painting and the sculpt, I would say. Definitely one worth getting if you do like these sort of Chinese dress figures. I've got no complaints there. The hair looks really good in terms of its painting. The sculpt looks fine overall, and I do like the way it drops sort of over her rear end, over her butt. So definitely a nice looking figure, one to possibly keep an eye on or add to your bookmarks. Lucria Princess Connect Redive Shizuru. This is an image update, so I don't know what they've done. I think I covered this in the previous video. It might just be a bit more of a recolouring. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously the hat's not really got much shading. Figure looks fine, sculpt looks alright. I've got no complaints about the figure really overall. And then there was also an image update for Ayakashi Triangle Matsuri Kazumaki. Again, I can't see spectacular unless it's to do with the see-through jacket on this one. So as you can see, with it being sort of, I don't know if it's wet or if it's just sweat or something. But on the back, you can see the folds are a bit more. The shading between the fold where the folds collect, showing a thickness in through the opaqueness of the shirt, definitely I think is improved compared to the previous one. But apart from that, there's not really anything else I can tell that's changed between this and the other one. And again, 16,000 yen. Furyu, I think they're going to make loads of these. So both, I think one's Megahouse, one's Furyu. So the Furyu one, I think they'll make loads of, so they'll probably get cheaper. Tulavu Darkness Momo Belai Deviluke, the Magician version, 1/7. I think this one was censored if I remember correctly. Since if I remember correctly, the her underwear was actually removable, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't there basically. It was pure scantily nude. So this is kind of a censorship thing that they've done, which I'm kind of annoyed about that they have done that. If they made that so you can remove that would be ideal, but they haven't. It's by Broccoli, 21,220 yen. It's a fine looking figure of Momo. I don't really have any complaints about it. I do the cape for this. Yeah, this cape looks more unique. It looks more like wings, obviously, compared to a cape because it's short on the back and it's got longer side type pieces. So it gives you a much more unique look compared to a lot of other figures with like capes, which are just sort of even cut capes. Not a bad looking figure. I've got no real complaints. If it interests you, then you know if you want to get it or not. Kadokawa Angel Beats Kanade Tachibana wedding version by Kadokawa for 26,620 yen. Looks fine. I'm pretty sure I've covered this before. So this is another image update or re-release. I think I prefer her without the wedding dress, all the extra bits. I think they should have just sold her like this. Really, this looks better in my mind. There's just too much going on with the actual official wedding dress. Yeah, I prefer this with it. The reduced, smaller dress. Really, the wings look really well done. Obviously there's not, the sculpt is not like amazing. You're not going to see every individual feather. But I think the shading they've got going on gives the next depth to the wings. So it's a good looking figure overall, but I'm not into Angel Beats. So and there's this one, 33,000 yen. What does this come with? Oh, it comes with a tapestry and a different base, more a felted base. So that's for 33,000 yen. Depends on you whether it's worth it or not. I think there's a lot of people that do like Angel Beats and Kanade from Kanade Tachibana. So it's good to see another figure at least of her. She hasn't had loads. And obviously Angel Beats is one of those sort of older anime series that people have a fond memories of, so they might actually just be from nostalgia want to get a figure of her, especially a wedding one. Statue Legend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2 Oingo and Oingo. It's a good looking actually JoJo figure. I think it captures the essence of the figure from the anime quite a lot as well. I think with the hat and the way his stance is, definitely good looking figure overall. It definitely follows the whole JoJo's art aesthetic. I definitely, if you're big into JoJo, worth getting, because you're not going to see, or you might not see him in any other Oingo Boingo figures, released, to be honest. So for Medicos to release this, especially for 13,000 yen, it's definitely a good pickup if you're big into your JoJo figures. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal Astra 1/7 by Amakuni, 20,900 yen. Looks fine for it being an Astra figure. I have no complaints really about it. It's obviously unique, but it's just Yu-Gi-Oh!, isn't it? Some of these designs are a bit wacky out there. But yeah, no, it looks perfectly fine to me. 20,900 yen. Big into Yu-Gi-Oh! And you like Zexal as one of your favourite figures, then you can get the Zexal Astra for 21,000 yen. That rounds up this weekly roundup of figures. I will have all of these listed down below in the description as kind of a spreadsheet. So there'll be links to all of them. If there's one that interests you, you can go straight to the link without having to search it up on AmiAmi. It's just something extra I can do for you guys to make it easier to grab figures if there's one that piques your interest in these. They're not affiliates or anything like that. There's no way to do that with AmiAmi, and they're just links that I put in the description for you to make it easier for you to find a figure. If one's piqued your interest, you can then pre-order it straight away from the video without having to obviously go through a Google search and find it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please give a like, comment, or just comment. If you just comment to let me know what else I could be doing, for you, or any other series that you reckon I should cover, then please do that below. And thank you very much, and catch you in the next video. Peace, bye.